Hello, everyone. Quite a story I have for you today. These are stories from Chazal. We have a story over here it's called a sefer called Zohar chadash. It's a part of Zohar chadash, which is a medrash haneelam. It's somewhere in the middle of medrash haneelam on Sefer Rus. And the story goes as follows. There was a Tana. His name was Rabbi Zemirah. So this Rabbi Zemirah, he was traveling by an area called by the fields of Uni, and by the fields of Uni, he saw a crack in the ground, and he went up. He bent down. For some reason, he assumed there was something to hear. He might have heard something, and he was hearing screaming. And an Arab merchant was walking by him, and he saw him, and he said, "Oh, you want to see something interesting? That's nothing." He said, I could show you something that's secrets that no human knows about. He took him behind some rocks, some stones, whether it was a lot more mountainous or was small rocks, it's not clear from the Zohar. And he said, "Look at those cracks, listen, bend down, listen what you're going to hear." And he bent down, and he heard them saying, "Oi, oi." These were the sounds he heard. And I forgot to mention how there was actually smoke coming out of these cracks in the ground. Meanwhile, the Arab saw this, he was busy, so the Arab left. And Rabbi Zemirah decided to continue researching this. And he saw other cracks as well. And he went closer to them and decided to even go deeper and sort of bend down into it. Pretty much lie into it. And he saw that they were taking a person and they were throwing him into a deep pit of fire. Quite strange. He was quite shocked. At some point, because he was lying, it seems like he was tired already, and he fell asleep. After falling asleep, he had a dream. And he had this dream where he saw this man that he asked him, "What's your name?" And this man told him, "I'm a guy." He asked him, "Who are you?" First of all, he said, "I'm a man that I'm a Jew, a Yid, and I did all the Vedas in the world. And now, because of that, I'm being punished in Gehenna. I'm being punished that 3 times a day I'm being punished in the fire, and 3 times a night I'm being punished in the fire, and there's no way out of this." And he said, the only way I can get out of this is if I have a child that gives me schusim. And I have a child. I do have a child, actually. A child that learns Torah in my name, that davens in my name, etc., etc. It has these schusim. So he asked him, "Okay, what's your name?" He said, "I don't know my name." He says, "People in Gehenna don't remember their name." So he told him, "Where did you live?" So he told him, "Actually, he lived in the Galil area." He said, "Okay." So he woke up, and he went to search. He wanted to help this neshama, and he went to the area in the Galil, and he went searching. He went to ask. He said, first he came across this child who was reading a pasuk, and the pasuk had to do. It's a pasuk in Mishlei, which had to do with searching and searching and searching. And he came across another, and then that gave him chizuk to keep searching. And he came across another child who read a pasuk, which also was, had to do with his situation. So he gave him more chizuk, and he decided, you know what, I'm going to go find this child. So he went to the Galil, and he asked people. He was asking around, "Do you know this person who only had one child, and he was a big valaveda, etc., etc.?" So they said, "Oh, that guy. Yeah, he should suffer. He was the evil man, evil man." And he kept searching and searching and searching, to eventually he figured out who this child was. And they told him, "You know what, actually, yeah, we know who this child is. His father's a Rasha, the child is a big Rasha too. He actually hangs out in the butcher, in the certain butcher, you'll find him there." So he went, and he found the child. And what he started doing with him? He started teaching him psukim. Then he started teaching him how to Kriya Shema and how to daven. Eventually he taught him more Torah. And eventually he became a big Talmid Chacham. And eventually the father came to this man, this neshama came to Rabbi Zmira in a dream. And he told me, you should know, he says, you should be calm because you calmed my soul. He said, what happened? The first time you learned with him a pasuk that already lessened my din in Gehenim. So then afterwards, when you start teaching him much more, he said, what happened? You started to teach him Chumash, etc. Even more than that, he said, then my din only became limited to one time a day. He says, then we became called, a Rebbe, a Talmid Chacham, a Rebbe. He says, so then all my din went away. He said, and eventually when he started darshaning, my son became a darshaning, started giving names of Talmidei Chachamim. That was his name, and he used to give chedushim every day. He says, they even put me in Gan Eden together with tzaddikim, and they crowned me. So this was the story, shows the importance. And this child eventually was known as Shimon HaPekuli. He was a famous Tano, brought down in different medrashim. And this shows the power of how children could affect their parents' neshama with their Torah and with their ma'asim tovim and their tefillas.